Sophie, you talked about playing with a sense of urgency. How do you think your team responded to that, and how do you think you helped, I guess, initiate that? Like 10 rebounds, hustling, hyping up the crowd, things like that.
Yeah, I think that our team kind of got in the groove. Honestly, when Kate got hurt, we were playing good offense, good defense, but we're a whole different team when she is in. And so we have to learn how to adjust, how to get her involved, how to keep people who are hot. And so just kind of learning that and then staying consistent in that. But the things that we can control is our effort, our energy, boxing out, defensive scouts, and that's what we got to hang our hat on.
Sophie, you were talking about in Minnesota how like you knew it was coming, but you were just trying to be patient and wait and find other ways to contribute. How rewarding or sigh of relief kind of is today knowing this is what you and this team is capable of?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. I think that our team has enough offensive threats that we should have 5 to 6 people in double figures every single night when we move the ball. When the ball's popping, we're a really hard team to guard. Again, we have to be disciplined on defense. We can get easy buckets in transition. But I think offensively, when the ball is popping, we're a hard team to guard in the W.
Kelsey, what's it like playing with a big like Aliyah Boston who's able to kind of, you guys had it going tonight, whether it's handoffs or set up screens? What's it like playing with a dynamic playmaking big like that?
I think it's kind of a testament to what Soph said. I think when the ball pings and everyone can kind of we get to 2 and 3 sides, you get to see more of who we are. And I think that's tied with how effective our defense can be. When you guys see us get to make plays in transition or down the floor, that comes from defense. And I think it's an idea that we have to continuously hammer home. And it's big for me and AD, but as well as our group. When you see the ball go back and forth, it's because we all sticking together. And so that's what we want to hang our hat on all season.
For either one of you, the last game was not a very good one. How big is it to make this quick turnaround with the sense of urgency, the timing of being at home as you get to the halfway point of the season and everybody healthy?
Yeah, it was a butt whooping. We won't even lie to you about that one, but it was really bad. But I think we need moments like this. Any true competitor know that you need moments to kind of have lulls and valleys where you have to go through a tough time, and that was us on Wednesday. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about how bad we played, but I think God willing, we got a chance to get it right today, and so you guys got to see what it's like for us to turn the page, be a sacrificial team, be able to sacrifice for one another, and put it together a whole 40-minute game.
Yep. The coaching staff has emphasized assist-heavy basketball, and just 27 assists on 35 made shots tonight. Just how much better do you guys feel when the ball is moving like that?
I mean, it's huge. I think really when you can get everyone involved, it takes pressure off our big scorers. When the ball pings and moves side to side, everyone's going to guard our first action. We know that. So invite that and then get it to the second side, get it to the third side. We have so many offensive threats that you can't really leave any one of us open. You can't. Our bigs are phenomenal. AB has been killing it all season long. So good luck one-on-one down there. Kels, good luck. It opens up everything when you get everyone involved. But I'm not kidding you. I think that really does stem from our defense. When we are aggressive defensively from the jump, it just sets our minds offensively. And so as a team, we really do have to get consistent in that. We talk about that, and hopefully we can stack some games together, and you guys will see that.
For either of you, I mean, you might have just alluded to it there, Sophie, but how would you assess the difference was between the second half and the first half? It felt like in the second half, not that third quarter, you guys just were able to really turn things around, and it was all steam ahead.
The W was a W for a reason. We played great, phenomenal players inside out every single night, and so we knew that Jordin Canada went on a run by herself, as alone. And, we recognize that competitors don't be competitors, players don't play. And our second half was just about taking them out of actions, mucking it up, making it ugly, defensively, so then we can go in transition and get what we want. But I think that truly came from a standpoint of making sure we didn't let Canada get whatever she wanted, making it tough for Ryan Howard, who's amazing, Alicia Gray, who's amazing. Their whole starting five were all-stars, so we had to take them out of stuff to get what we want.
The defensive intensity, that's something you alluded to in Minneapolis and all these past couple games. How have you gone about trying to unlock that and maintain that intensity more consistently over the course of an entire game?
Yeah, I think it all starts with communication. It really starts at practice with defensive scout, locking in, knowing personnel. We haven't been very good at that this year. You've seen spurts of it that we were really good, but again, our word is consistency, together and consistency. And so for us, it's being aggressive at the point of attack And I really do think that when we're aggressive from the jump, it sets the tone for the whole game. And so, sucks to suck, it's on the starting five to kind of do that, so good luck, Kels. But I really do think that when we're in it together and we're aggressive on both ends, we're just a really tough team.
Speaking of being a tough team, I don't think any of us doubt your toughness, Sophie, but tonight when your head hit the floor, everyone held their breath. You were laughing, so could you explain kind of what was going on in that moment?
Yeah, well, I laugh when I'm in pain, to give you a heads up. No, I just tried to get a jump ball, and she's a good sized post, and she is strong as hell, and I give her all the credit. I wish I had that strength, but yeah, that was tough, so I don't know what to say to that. It was hard, it hurt.
Sophie, you enjoy hyping up the crowd, and the player you're next to is pretty reserved, but I saw Kelsey for the first time in a while kind of show that emotion. So when you see her get hyped like that, what does that do for the team? You know it doesn't happen.
Brings it out of me, man. Brings it out of me.
I just love it. I really do think this is a really unique and special team. In the locker room, we really do love each other. Like, we love spending time together. Our practices, I'm not going to lie, are long. And sometimes we have to hold hands and be like, hey, we're going to get through it. But this is a team that I have never felt like this in the W. And I've been in it for 7 years. I know you've been in it for 8, and so this is a special group that we have. And so when we can just go out there and have fun and be competitors and feed off of each other, it's just easy. And when people are smiling, like, you don't ever see Kelsey really get like that. But when we see her get like that, we're like, oh, yeah, like we're in it. You know what I mean? And when other teams see that, it's game over. And so we're our best when we're having fun.
Stephanie, what did you think about your team's effort defensively, the connectedness there, and also the connectedness on offense? We talked about playing .5 basketball. It looked more like that tonight.
Yeah, I thought we were really connected on both ends. I thought our sense of urgency was better, our activity level was better, our communication, defensively. We made things as tough as we could for them. They're a great team, obviously, and offensively, our second half was much better. Take care of the ball, moving it. We had a 77% assist rate, and that's what we have to do. We've got to get the ball moving. We've got to get multiple touches. We've got to get it from one side of the floor to the other and get everybody involved, and then that's how we find success.
Steph, do you feel like tonight was kind of a weight lifted off the team after that last performance and a sign of, hey, this is what we're capable of?
Yeah, I think so. We've been talking all year about, building consistency. This is game 2 with our whole roster. With everybody in our rotation, for sure. And we still haven't had a practice with everybody, right? So I think building consistency, consistency in habits for us, continuing to work consistency in rotation. Now that C's back, now that Didi's back, what does it look like? I thought Didi and AB played really well together today. I like that lineup, particularly against Atlanta with 2 bigs. I like the combination of what they bring to the table. And so it's one game. It was a big one. We needed it, but we got to continue to stack days and build on it.
Yeah, I know after Wednesday's game, you mentioned the lack of competitive fire, and then Sophie on Thursday talked about wanting to light a fire under your butts. Just how did you see that competitiveness come out today?
Yeah, I mean, it was there in shoot around today. They had great energy. They had a pep in their step. And I think they did from the jump, and we didn't allow breakdowns or runs to quote unquote crush our spirit, right? It's like we bounced back and we made runs of our own. We answered them, and that's a sign of growth. But that's what it takes in this league. I mean, it's not peaks and valleys. I mean, it's going to ebb and flow, and teams are going to make runs, and we've got to be able to respond. And I thought we did a much better job of that tonight. We did not shoot the ball particularly well in the first half, and we stayed confident, and we took our shots, and we let the ball find the right shot.
Steph asked you before the game about Aliyah's playmaking and 8 assists tonight for her. What did you like about her and Kelsey Mitchell specifically with that 2-man combination? The handoffs, the screens, it seemed like they were on the same page.
Yeah, with AB, Kels, and C, really, those 3 play so well together. But AB just makes really good decisions. She doesn't usually get rushed. She doesn't take chances typically. She makes the right play and the right read, and I trust her in those situations where she's facilitating and where she's got the ball in her hands. I trust her bringing the ball up the floor, and so as she continues to grow more confident in this role that she's playing, I think you're going to just continue to see her flourish. I know she's a different kind of player, but I told her before the season started, it's like we want to use you kind of like Jokic. right? To play through you and for you to be able to score and facilitate from multiple places on the floor. The thing that I loved the most was that three that she stepped into and just let it fly, right? Like that's her continuing to play confident basketball. There was no hesitation. There was no thought. It was just, I'm open, I'm going to shoot it. And I want her to continue to play like that.
Sophie and Kelsey talked about the chemistry of this group and how it's unlike anything that they've really experienced in their career. How has that looked to you as a coach, just this group's chemistry?
Yeah, it's huge. It's important. It's why we've been able to navigate a lot of disruption. A lot of adversity is because they're a tight knit group. They like each other. They're for each other. They get along well. But that stuff off the floor doesn't matter if you can't put it together on the floor. And I think that they've done a really good job of giving one another grace in tough situations and pulling one another along and lifting one another up. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Has that come naturally, the giving each other grace and kind of working through those ebbs and flows, or is that taking time to come together through the adversity in the year?
I think for some people, just like regular human beings, right? For some people, it's natural to give grace. For others, it's not, and you've got to be really intentional about it and in specific moments. And there's a humility involved, and every single person that's on our team, coaches, players, everybody. There's an ego that gets you to this point, right? But to be able to sacrifice that ego and have enough humility to make it about the we over the me. Sometimes that's a learned behavior, and some people have it naturally. And we've worked really, really hard, and they've worked really hard to be able to, no matter what the circumstance, maintain that and be intentional about that.
So I have a question about the matchup with Atlanta. You're split the season now 2-2. You beat them in the preseason, but you won't see them again. You're 2 games behind them in conference. Was there talk about that going into this game, that you needed to get that win against them? And then how do you feel about not playing them again the rest of the season?
Well, I feel like we played them 17 times already, so there wasn't really talk about that. We were really focused on us becoming a better ball club, right? Us having a high attention to detail in our defensive coverage and making sure that our attention to detail in our scout was elite. It was about us continuing to work to move the basketball, to get multiple players involved, to less about exploiting matchups and more about finding rhythm and finding flow and finding continuity and connectivity on both ends of the floor. And I think we took a step forward today. We've had some matchup problems with Atlanta, with their bigs and with their different lineups, and I thought that we just did a really good job of handling the ebbs and flows and the runs and locking down when we needed to.
When Kaylin doesn't have her shot going, she seems to always consistently find a way to create for others and make plays. What are the conversations like in the huddle when you're trying to kind of keep that from affecting other aspects of her game?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and it doesn't mean anything that I'm not worried about Kaylin's shot, but I'm not worried about Kaylin's shot. She's recovering from injury. She plays heavy, hard minutes. Every defensive assignment, every defensive scout, she's the top of the scouting report. So her shot quality that she's getting has not been great. And we're just so used to seeing her make tough shots. And to be able to do that while she's recovering from injury is gonna be more difficult. That's part of the reason that we want to try to make her life easier and get her some easier looks. And it's gonna continue to be hard because every defensive game plan is to not allow those. So for her to stay patient, I thought she did a really good job of attacking the rim. Not just settling for tough, long jumpers. She always does a really good job of finding her teammates. And then we just have to help, navigate her own frustration because she's a perfectionist, as most elite players are, and she needs to be able to give herself grace in those moments. But every shot she shoots looks like it's going into me.